Welcome, I'm Macky Hall, and if you've been following my recent tutorial series on the appearance window, we just learned how to layer strokes, fills, and gradients. Now with that in mind, we're going to use those layered strokes practically to develop a 3D effect to create a 3D planet. In addition, we'll be touching on the Intertwine tool and masking, but the focus, of course, is on strokes. Now, as you might know by now, this is a third of a four-part series showcasing one of my very favorite tools in Adobe Illustrator, the appearance window. Those four parts are create color swatches, using strokes, fills, and gradients, using stroke to create a 3D planet, and finally, adding and managing editable effects to objects and groups. This, of course, part 3. Yeah, we're going to build a little bit on the second part, but this video stands on its own, no problem. Now, with that being said, let's get started. All right, before we get started, I want to mention that we're using the Essentials Classic Workspace. To switch on over to the Essentials Classic Workspace, all you need to do is go to the top right-hand corner, select Switch Workspace, and select Essentials Classic. Now, if you want to use your own workspace, by all means do so. We'll be sure to get you where you need to go. Next, I want to give you the dimensions of my piece right here if you're just starting from scratch. If you're continuing from earlier parts of this series, you're good to go. Our piece is set up in the RGB color mode, and our artboard size is 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels, and it's a single artboard. Next, I want to mention that we'll be using the bottom center of our page to highlight key command recommendations, hotkey recommendations, and tips and tricks. With that in mind, we're building this piece on a PC. So if you're building on a Mac or Apple device, substitute command for control whenever control is displayed. Just remember, command equals control. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Like we'd mentioned, we are going to build a 3D image using two shapes, the appearance window, the intertwine tool, and of course, we're going to be masking some stuff. Of course, the highlight is the appearance window. So with that being said, how do you access the appearance window? Piece of cake. First way to do it is go to your window menu and select appearance from the dropdown. Also, you could select Shift F6. If you select that, note that it pops up on your right side right here. Close that out. Additionally, if you're using Essentials Classic or similar workspace, all you need to do is select the icon, click on it, and out it comes. All right, now that we've got that done, check out what we're going to be building. Again, we're going to be building the ringed planet for insertion into our hexagon. So with that in mind, if you've got the hexagon on display, let's just go ahead and grab it and move it off to the right. It doesn't matter how far you drag it. That's just fine right there. Remember the nice thing about how we positioned this? We used our align tool to align center horizontally and align center vertically. Let's go ahead and move it a little bit further over just for kicks. There we go. We've got that out of the way and it's off the artboard completely. Now that we've got that done, let's go ahead and select our ellipse tool. The way we do that is we either select our rectangle tool from the left toolbar or of course, whatever tool it's on. Right now we're set on the hexagon tool on our end. So what we're going to do is we're going to hover over it. We're going to right click and we'll select our ellipse tool. From there, we'll go ahead and click anywhere on the artboard and we'll create an ellipse that's 250 pixels by 250 pixels. Now notice right away that we've got the stroke that we don't want to use, and of course we've got our fill that we don't want to use. So how do we get rid of that using the appearance window? Now that we've got this piece on the screen, let's do the same thing that we did with the hexagon. Let's go ahead and center that horizontally and vertically using our align tools. Notice we've got them right here on the top bar with this workspace. If you need to bring that up, all you need to do is go Window, Align, or Shift F7. From there, let's just go ahead and align it center horizontally and align it center vertically, just like that. Once we're done, let's close out that menu. Now that we've got that done, let's go ahead and change the colors of our piece. Again, using our color swatch group. Let's go. First things first, what we want to do is we want to select the stroke right here. And let's go ahead and delete it. All we need to do is select it. Let's go to the bottom right-hand corner and delete the selected item by clicking on the trash can. Just like that, it goes away. Now let's go ahead and change the color of the fill. All we need to do is click on that fill item. And let's go ahead and go on over to our swatches right here. From here, we can change the color any way we need to. In this case, I'll select light orange. Let's go ahead and click out of our swatch. And there you go right there. That's the start of our planet. Next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and make that ring. How do we do that? Well, it's a piece of cake. What we're going to do is we're going to select this circle as we've already done. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our scale tool. Go right over here to our left menu. Let's double click on that. Let's scale our shape uniformly 200%. From there, let's go ahead and select copy. Now, obviously, you can't see too much. That is by design. All we need to do is trade our fill and our stroke. Or, of course, what we can do is delete our fill and add our stroke in. In this case, I think that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and go over to our fill right here. Let's throw it out into the trash. There you go. With our stroke, let's double click on our stroke. And let's go with our dark orange color right here. Let's go ahead and click out of our swatch. And then let's go ahead and increase that thickness from 1. We can arrow up, or we can just enter in the number that we want. In this case, we want to go 55 points. There you go. That works out pretty well right there. Let's continue and layer another stroke underneath. The way we do that, as you might know, is let's either go and duplicate the selected item with our stroke selected, or of course we can add a new stroke. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll click on add new stroke from the bottom left, and notice our stroke is added beneath there. Let's double click on our stroke color. Let's go back to our swatch that we've created. Again, that's the tutorial swatch, as you can see right there. And let's select medium orange. Let's click out of the swatch. And then note right here that we can't see our medium orange stroke because it is the same size as our stroke above it. So what we want to do is let's go ahead and increase the diameter of our stroke. Let's take it up from 55 points. Let's double click on this and let's enter in 100 points. Now we can see the stroke exactly as we want. Now that we've got our stroke set, let's go ahead and do some changes to our stroke shape right there. What we're going to do is we're going to expand it so that stroke or those two strokes become filled objects. Here's how you do it. All you need to do is with your stroke still selected, select Object, Expand Appearance, and then we'll go right back one more time to Object and select Expand. Notice when the pop-up window comes up, make sure that Fill and Stroke are selected. That is the default, and select OK. Note right away that those shapes become filled shapes. Next thing we want to do is let's go ahead and grab our selection tool and note right away that we have the scale boundaries. All we need to do is go down to the bottom center. Once the vertical scale icon comes up, all we want to do is click and drag our shape vertically. Now to make sure it expands and contracts from center, let's go ahead and press and hold our Alt key and notice what our strokes are doing. Let's take it down to about that much right there. And let's go ahead and release. If we click off the entire shape, notice we've got that ringed planet look with one problem. That back is in front of the planet. So how do we affect that? Piece of cake. What we're going to do is we're going to select both shapes. Once that's done, we're going to go Object, Intertwine, and select Make. Once we've got our Intertwine tool selected, notice that it appears that both shapes deselect. Well, they're still selected. Notice that if I want to hide or intertwine my shape, all I need to do is hover over the part that I want to intertwine and click on it. Notice straight away that that shape is now hidden behind our ellipse, and now that looks like a legitimate planet right there. Let's grab our selection tool. Let's deselect our shape, and that looks pretty good right there. Let's give our planet just a little bit more movement. The way we're going to do that is let's go ahead and rotate this shape 45 degrees. Go ahead and select it. Let's go down to the bottom left-hand corner until we see our rotate icon. And then we're going to click and drag up vertically till 45 degrees. An easy play on this is holding your shift key and it'll snap to 45 degrees just like that. Let's go ahead and deselect. And that looks perfect right there. Now let's go ahead and mask our shape into the existing hexagon. First things first, let's select our hexagon right here. And then let's go align it to the center vertically and horizontally. Again, what I'm going to do is I'll go Window, Align, and then once again, I'll align it horizontally and then align it vertically as well. Let's go ahead and close that window out. Let's go ahead and deselect our shapes. And now we're going somewhere. All we need to do now is reposition our planet, create our mask, and we are good to go. Let's get started with that. Let's go ahead and grab our planet with our selection tool and let's drag it down and to the left until we get that position just right. I think that looks pretty decent right there. Let's go ahead and release that. And let's deselect our planet. Now, if you want to adjust your planet's positioning easily without the mouse, what you can always do is select your planet and use your directional keys. Just by a single depression of the directional key, notice it moves up 1 pixel at a time. If you want to move it in 10 pixel increments, all you need to do is press your directional key and hold your shift key, and notice it moves in 10 pixel or 10 point increments. In this case, this looks pretty good, just like that. Now let's go ahead and mask it. Now notice if I hit Control Y right here, which brings up outlines. Now if you want to bring up outlines, you can always go View, Outline, or Control Y. Notice right away that we're only dealing with the hexagon as a masked shape. The rest of it is all strokes and fills. So let's escape the outlines. This time around, instead of going to View, Outline, what we're going to do is we're going to select Control Y, which is the hotkey for that. Once we've got that, we're going to make a duplicate of our hexagon. We're going to bring it to the front, and then we're going to select both objects so that we can create a clipping mask. Let's do it. First things first, let's select our hexagon. Let's go Edit, Copy, or Control C, and then Edit, Paste in Front, or Control F. Now, nothing looks like it's happened, but again, we've pasted our object directly in front of its predecessor. So all we need to do is bring it all the way to the front. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to right-click on our shape. Let's select Arrange, Bring to Front. Once we've got that done, all we need to do is we need to select the planet. We'll hold our Shift key to select the planet along with our hexagon. Notice that they're both selected. And notice as well that we're not selecting the original hexagon, which is our back element. Once we've got those two front elements selected, all we need to do is go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make, or Control 7. Check out what happens when I select it. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and deselect our shape. There you go. Using our appearance window along with the Scale tool, the Intertwine tool, and of course, duplicating a shape and making a clipping mask, we've got our 3D planetary shape. Let's go ahead and save our piece, and then we are done. Nice job. Now you know just a little bit more about how to play with the appearance window and how to create a planet shape. Now, if you've got time and you haven't done so already, take a look at the other videos on the appearance window. I promise it won't waste your time, and I promise you'll learn about one of the most transformative tools in Adobe Illustrator. By the way, it's all on my channel. Finally, comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Peace.